Shamaya, you did it.
STL Music.
Is that good? Welcome back to the show. Yo, listen up, we back in the game. Sweep the league, we got the flame. Motivated to the fullest every single day. We wake up, get in every way. Working the true and global inspiration. Talk this sports and top news, no hesitation. Sweep the league is back. We always coming back, that's a fact. Wanna tell them that STL Music, remember we did it, where we at. Coach Jill in the house with the flow so tight. Every girl, rubber rock stats, we unite. Yeah, the best show, Monday through Friday. If this ain't different, they lying. We got the energy. When I say sweep, you say the league. Sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go.
Hi, it's Sherilyn, and you're watching Sweep the League TV. Follow me on Instagram at official Sherilyn for more content.
Hey, it's Rain Fernandez, and you're watching Sweep the League. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and Facebook at Rain Fernandez, Rayne Fernandez.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Sweep the league TV where legends collide. If the Cowboys fall short, we'll still ride the tide. Like Jordan in the clutch or Brady's last play, we bring the fire, keeping fans in the fray. Coach Gio and Rudy calling the shots, with Derek Coventry, Hall of Fame thoughts. So hit that subscribe, don't sit on the bench. Get in the game, every highlight's intense. The live stream's on till your friends don't delay. Like Kobe in the fourth, we're here to play. Sweep the League TV, where greatness resides. From the blogs at the drive, till my heart's on the rise. We're all in on sports, NBA, CFB, and more for fans. Live fans, it's the show you'll adore.
Make sure everybody understands what the new job is. I'm no longer a coach. I'm El Jefe.
All right, and there you have it, Coach Pop stepping down as head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. Made the official announcement this past Friday. We are reacting to it tonight. Welcome everybody to Sweep the League, the Tuesday night delight edition of Sweep the League. You can only find us right now on YouTube. Be sure to go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button so that way you are not left out in the cold. Get into the Twitter thing in a little bit here, but I do notice that when we did start, we don't have a lot of our normals in here. So again, be sure to jump on YouTube. That way you are not left out. The best thing to do is go to notifications, hit that notification button if you are a member or a subscriber on Sweep the League TV, so you're not left out here. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about Coach Pop tonight, give our reactions about Coach Pop. Also, offseason moves for the Spurs. You know, you hear about KD, you hear about Giannis. There's one player that a lot of people don't talk about, that an article came out and kind of rumored. So do we have another, hidden ace up our sleeve somewhere? We'll take a look at that. Also, NBA playoffs, man. NBA playoffs are kicking off. And before we got on the air, you ended up seeing Indiana with a thrilling win at the end there. Tyrese Halliburton just on another level. I want to be the first to apologize to Tyrese Halliburton. Last year, again, MVP type of season, but I remember telling Derek and Gio, I said, I don't find him capable of having another season like that. Now, he didn't have a great season this year, not compared to last year, but his playoff run is pretty damn good. So shout out to Tyrese Halliburton out there for sure. So we'll talk NBA playoffs as well, but we'll talk about some NBA offseason moves as well for the San Antonio Spurs. First things first, Coach Pop has retired. Well, not retired. He stepped down. He's going to be joining the Spurs full time as president of basketball operations. Mitch Johnson does become the successor to Coach Pop. How do you feel out there about Coach Pop? About Mitch Johnson taking over for Coach Pop. I would say, a lot of people, even those that say that they are, I'll say this, even those that say that they are not surprised by Mitch Johnson taking over, I think really are surprised by Mitch Johnson taking over. Nobody had Mitch Johnson as, the successor to Pop. Let's be honest. Nobody had that at all. People had Mike Malone. People had Taylor Jenkins, Mike Brown. I mean, I was calling for Sam Cassell to get an opportunity to coach, and we're gonna dive into that here. But first and foremost, Pop. I mean, 5 championships with the team, 4-time NBA All-Star head coach. I think it was a 3-time NBA Coach of the Year. One, if not in some fans' eyes, the greatest coaches NBA history, all-time winningest coach in NBA history, regarded as one of the best coaches in sports, period. Great career. Can fully understand, just by looking at the press conference, can truly understand why he decided to walk away. And on a side note for Pop, I texted Jeff Garcia, Locked On Spurs, friend of the show, and I did tell him, like, hey, Pop doesn't really look good at this press conference. As you can tell, he was really laboring. He had no real movement on his left side of his body. He had a limp. Obviously, the effects of a stroke. I mean, he's getting better, as we said, but just by looking at him at the press conference, it was the absolute best thing for him to step down, to take over just day-to-day basketball operations as president of the operations. I don't know even how long he's going to be a part of the Spurs organization. I mean, it just depends on recovery. It depends on recovery, on how everything goes. Shout out to Tim. Hey, Tim, how you doing, man? Appreciate you joining us on here tonight. With the whole Pop thing, we wish the best for Pop. It was a great career. Mitch Johnson goes into the offseason as the San Antonio Spurs head coach. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes for Mitch. I fully expect him to do a really good job. But again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I did not have him as the Spurs head coach. I had other guys in line. And to top it off, people may say, well, what happened to Mike Malone? Why didn't they talk to Taylor Jenkins? Why didn't they get in contact with other guys for the position? Why was it Pop stepping down, Mitch taking over back to back? Well, the biggest thing is a lot of these bigger name coaches are going to cost a whole lot of money. So they're probably saving a lot of money, and they're not going to pay, Mitch around the $25 million range or anything like a lot of these other coaches may need or may want. Yeah, so I would say definitely they were able to save money getting Mitch Johnson to be the successor to Pop. Also, the fact of, do we really know for a fact that they didn't talk to these coaches, and maybe these coaches just may not have been interested? And it's not any disrespect, but I mean, you've got a Phoenix job that's open right now. There could be other jobs open right now. I mean, I think the Spurs probably didn't want to go too long into the coaching search. Some of these guys possibly, hey, you know what? I want to see what's out there come off season. Milwaukee's job could be available. There could be other jobs available. We don't know. So not that the Spurs didn't talk to Mike Malone, didn't talk to Taylor Jenkins or any of these guys. They probably did. But keep in mind the fact that some of these guys may have turned down the Spurs just because they want to see what's available out there. It's not that, maybe that they didn't want to coach the team or anything like that, or the Spurs didn't want them. It could be as little as maybe they just didn't want to be tied down right now. Spurs wanted to make a move ASAP. So again, could have been worse. I mean, Mitch Johnson, he did have a 31-45 record when Pop went out. That would be 14 games under 500. I would say give him an opportunity in the offseason. Let him build his team. Let him, get an offseason with everybody. Let it De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama kind of gel. There's a lot that's going to happen in the offseason, I still think, with the Spurs. We're going to get into some offseason talk now. But as far as what I'm saying right now, you gotta just take it for what it's worth. It's not that they probably didn't talk to these guys. I'm sure they did. I'm just sure they did their due diligence. But at the same time, a lot of these coaches may not have wanted, and it could be what we said a little while ago. It could be the fact that they wanted 25 million a year, 15, 20 million a year, and the Spurs just don't want to pay that. They don't want to pay that for a coach. I mean, do you blame them? I mean, you're going to spend a lot of money on a coach, and what if it doesn't work out? I mean, you've already got a person here that already is respected by the players, had the blessing of the players, blessing all the way up from ownership to the front office. Everyone had the blessing for Mitch. So, and you're going to get him on a great deal, to be honest with you. So, no problems with that at all. Everybody's coming into the chat now. Appreciate everybody joining. It was a smart move by Pop. Very smart. Didn't really look good at the press conference. Rudy, we all know you turned down the Spurs head coaching job. Why? I did turn down the Spurs head coaching job. I had to get off Twitter because of that, because I was interviewing with the Spurs. So I didn't want my dark past to come across again. So yeah, definitely. I had Becky as my choice. Leha, MCS General Contracting Zone. Chris Leha in here. Now, he's saying, what's good, my dog? Shout out Rudy for always bringing the heat. Also, I'm going to need the link to order a sweep shirt. You don't ever have to order a sweep shirt. I will get a shirt coming your way. There's no doubt about that. So sweep shirts are going to be available soon here. But yeah, I got you covered, man. You just text me what size of shirt you need, and I got it for you. But shout out to Leha, man. We're going to have an MCS building the brand like we always do here on Sweep the League. That's going to be coming up in the next segment. But MCS General Contracting, man, they are the absolute best in the business, not because of just what they do for construction side, but what they do for their community and what they do to help out in the community. Us being a part of the community here at Sweep the League, I Am Refocused Network, because of MCS, because they're the umbrella sponsors for all of us here. You're able to get content 24/7. And not only that, there's more stuff coming because of MCS General Contracting, man. The guy's the best in the business, but you know what? You don't have to take our word for it. Just give them a call. Let them know what you need. They're going to take care of you. The parking lot, driveways. I mean, these guys are the best in the business. They are backed by Sweep the League 100% of the time. They guarantee their work. Their word is their work, man. I mean, their work is the word. The word is all you need from Leha and the boys. Give them a call today. Tell them Sweep the League sent you. Why? Because if you do and you take on a job, we got a little something for you coming your way. So contact MCS General Contracting. Leha and the boys will take care of you 100% of the time, all the time, man. Got some MCS building the brand here in just a little bit. So we're going to get into that too. Me too. Coach Hammond was first choice. Yeah. Joel Colon, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Good evening, y'all. What is up, Joel? Appreciate you joining us on here. We're talking Coach Pop right now. So let's do the rundown. Coach Pop, we talked about Coach Mitch a little bit, get a little bit of background on that. We're going to build the brand in a little bit with MCS General Contracting, because Spurs offseason, all you talk about is Giannis, Kevin Durant, this, that. There's a player that is going to be available that isn't being talked about. Now, they're not being talked about because they're still in the playoffs now. People don't feel like they'll be moved. But this guy's been mentioned in trade talk for the past couple of years. Who is it, and why would he fit with San Antonio? We're going to throw that name out there in a little bit. Also, the Twitter, the X saga. I'll let you know, guys, why I'm not on X, and we'll get into all that later on. And then end of the show, we'll talk some NBA playoffs, because if you're a Cleveland Cavalier fan, you are staring at a 2-0 deficit going back to Indiana. It's terrible. Lot of upsets that first round and second round. So yeah, definitely. Rudy, you have your predictions for Backlash this Saturday night? No, but I will be talking to the Doctor of Style Sith, because Backlash is this week. You'll get a wrestling preview show for Backlash this week. So we'll be doing something for you guys out in the WWE universe with STL 316. Pop should just retire. He does not look well. And as president, he could not be under pressure too. It could end up being bad for him. Good point. I was talking about this before a lot of you guys dropped in here. So Pop at the presser didn't really look good at all. I mean, again, effects of the stroke, you can definitely tell he's still a good amount of ways on a full recovery. But I did question how long will he end up doing the presidential job, for the Spurs, president of basketball operations. The way he looked, I don't see him being president of basketball operations for very, very long, like for years and years. It's going to take a lot of recovery, but the way he was moving, the way he was, obviously the speech was good, in my opinion, from hearing him talk. But the way he was moving, the limited, usage of his left side, when he had a limp, he was, couldn't move his left arm, which again, effects of the stroke. I do understand that. But I don't know if he's going to be able to handle the everyday operations of being president of the team. Joel, I think you just mentioned the comments here. And John, I saw your comment. I'll get your comment in just a little bit here. It's just ceremonial. It could be a ceremonial position. I mean, but nonetheless, I think Pop slowly starts to just go into true retirement from here. The good thing is you got a head coach now. There's no more speculation. I know Malone, Taylor Jenkins, I know all these guys were mentioned. And as previously mentioned a little while ago, it could be the fact the Spurs didn't want to pay $25 million a year for a coach, no matter the success they've had. They don't want to pay that much, but also the fact that they could have been turned down by these guys. I mean, it's not unlikely that they were not turned down by these guys. I mean, they want to see what's out there. Coaching Vic and coaching, De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, it's a hell of an idea. It makes a hell of a good, a good feeling for you. But a lot of these guys don't want to just run into a job. Taylor Jenkins has a past with the Spurs, obviously. Mike Malone, title a couple years back. So you've got great coaches out there, but I feel like them going with Mitch was probably an obvious choice that a lot of us, including me, just didn't think it would happen. But nonetheless, it did happen. So Coach Mitch Johnson will be taking over the reins. Obviously, he took over the reins last Friday, first official day as head coach. So we'll see what the offseason has in store for him. Miles Turner is not the guy I'm talking about, but we'll talk about that here in a couple of minutes, John, because it's a name that is talked about in trades a lot, but never really ever comes to fruition. So Curry is hurt. He's heading to the locker room. Thank you for the update, Tim. Appreciate that. Let's build the brand. How about we do this? Let's build the brand here. Let's go ahead and start the Cheesemas segment of tonight's show, which is a Spurs Cheesemas segment sponsored by MCS General Contracting.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs chisme. Dime, por favor.
We gotta get that out.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto.
God, I hate that it has the repeat button on automatically. Thank you, Spurs Cheeseman girl. Appreciate you dropping in there for us. So, Spurs Cheeseman, this is the team that we're talking about. Article came out recently. The Boston Celtics reportedly could break up their core this summer because of the CBA. So, you see guys like Derek White and obviously Kristaps Porzingis right there, and they're on the screen. They've got guys that they've got to really consider signing again. Kristaps being one. Boston needs to get under that salary cap. So Jaylen Brown, and again, all the talk for Giannis Antetokounmpo, for Kevin Durant. I'm going to give you my thoughts on those guys here pretty soon, or in a little bit. But the talk that I want to get into is this. Giannis would be really good with the Spurs. I think it's a really good running mate. I don't know if you're going to get super duper prime Giannis in San Antonio like the way he is in Milwaukee. He's leaned on heavily in Milwaukee, but in San Antonio, he's not going to be leaned on a whole lot when it comes to the San Antonio Spurs. Kevin Durant, again, you don't want to give up a whole lot for a guy that, 2-3 years, maybe more in the league. Yeah, you could have some success there, but in just my opinion, it's the fact that KD might slow down the development of a Stephon Castle, of a Victor Wembanyama. KD's a scorer. He's going to score. He's going to get you buckets. But I feel like they need a guy within the team concept, which Giannis is more into that team concept because he's more of a running mate more than anything else, and he can take that over. But one guy that I really feel needs to get a lot of attention. A lot of attention. And we got Joel here. Oh, Bokinche? I'm sorry, man. I know my last name is Campos, but I'm horrible when it comes to that talking. I wanted Dirk and Henry with the Spurs for the head coach's job. I can 100% let you know that he did not have a head coaching. He did not have an interview with the head coaching position. But the one guy I look at, because Boston wants to break up this team, they're going to break up the core. Now, it's easy to say you can let Kristaps go. It's easy to say you can let Derek White go. But a lot of these guys are key pieces. Jaylen Brown is the one guy that I've felt, and you all see it every year, every summer, at every trade deadline, Jaylen Brown gets mentioned somewhere. They're not going to trade Jason Tatum. They're not going to do that. Obviously, Tatum over Brown. But Jaylen Brown's a guy to watch in this offseason. And he's a guy that instantly plug and plays for the San Antonio Spurs. He fills a need. He's a scorer. He can shoot the ball. He can defend. Get to the basket. He fills a really big need for the Spurs. Now, a major need, obviously, is the center position. You got to get some big men in there, which I think they can easily do in free agency. I think free agency, they can get a couple of big guys. Technically, if you want to go get a Naz Reid, you can get a Naz Reid. I'm not a huge Naz Reid fan, but I will say that Naz Reid is definitely doable with Spurs. I prefer guys like Jakob Poeltl, a DeMontis Sabonis. I feel these guys fit better with San Antonio than they would, than bringing in, another big guy that, I don't know, like a KD or just these big guys here that you want a Bam Adebayo type person. No, I cannot really see those guys on the Spurs, not with Victor there. Bronny James, no, not Bronny. Brown's making $300 million in his contract. He is making a lot of money in his contract, but contract-wise, this is what we're looking at right here. So let me share the contract here for you guys. This is what I'm presenting. And again, you guys, you can definitely make y'all's predictions, but we're talking Jaylen Brown. This is the deal that I'm looking at here. Obviously, Devin more than likely is going to be involved in any type of deal here. So you're moving Devin, you're moving Harrison, you're moving Jeremy. And then I've got 3. I think they can get it done with 2 first-round picks. If we're being honest, they can get it done with 2 first-round picks. So I put 3 in there, but I've got 2 where I think they can definitely get it done with 2. One of them being for this year's draft. And I've got them sending Atlanta's draft. Now, remember, Boston doesn't want guys that are making a whole lot of money. They're trying to cut the fat somewhere. So essentially, a guy like Jeremy Sohan may not be included in this deal, free up a little more cap space for Boston. Then again, there's those first round picks. They may not want a whole bunch only because, or they may not want them right away because, again, they're trying to stay under the cap. They're trying to trim the fat in Boston. So they don't want a lot of these high lottery picks. So that's why we say, okay, give them the Atlanta pick. If the Atlanta pick falls, in that 14 range like it's supposed to, it's a mid-lot. It's a lottery pick, but it's a low lottery. So the contract's not going to be huge. They can also package it to go somewhere else. So they're trying to just again trim the fat. So number wise, they get two young players, Devin Vassell, who again, two-way type of player. Jeremy Sohan, I mean, he's got a year left. He's got a team option, $7 million. That works well for them because then that comes off their books. And then you've got a Harrison Barnes contract at 1 year, $19 million left. So you're getting two expiring contracts, which is something that Boston is looking to do. They got to get under the cap. But what does this do? It allows them to go sign guys like, the Kristaps Porzingis or, any of their free agents that they want to keep. And that's where I think this kind of fits for the Celtics and the Spurs. Gets them under the cap, where eventually gets them under the cap because they've got two expiring contracts coming up here with Sohan and Barnes. Plus, gives them some draft picks to where they can go out and draft. They got guys under, again, cheaper contracts, but you build around Tatum. That's what I don't think they break up Tatum and Brown. I was watching the Celtic City series, and these dudes, both of them, they're Celtic lifers, bro. Their fans would riot if they break them up. Again, it's different from a fan's perspective. It's different from a front office perspective. I mean, the Luka trade just shows you that anybody can be traded at any time. But also, if Celtics front office needs to get under a threshold, a cash threshold, they've got to make a move. They can go Brown and Porzingis, but they're going to lose a lot of their other guys, or they're going to have to move some key players that they don't want to move. It's almost like the Giannis talk here, Joel. Your comments are always fantastic, man. It's like the comment here. It's like the trend here. You want to try to get the best deal possible, especially if you're going to trade one of your best players. The Tatum and Brown experiment has led to one title. No, yeah, it's one title. I think a finals appearance as well. But it's led to one title. But if you got to get under a number, because again, these guys are going to be coming up. These guys are going to be coming up, in the next few years for that extension. And it's going to be a lot higher than what they're making now. I really do feel that they've got to move on from one of them. And it's still not even rebuilding. I mean, the East is very, very weak. I mean, you can be a decent team and still make it into the playoffs. I think with the Celtics, if they were to keep Porzingis, and again, they get a first round pick, they can go get a big man because obviously Al Horford, this may be Al's last year playing, but you keep Porzingis, you can keep Derek White, Drew Holiday, you've got Jason Tatum, you could throw in Devin Vassell. Harrison Barnes is a fantastic veteran for you right there. Can knock down shots, can be a key focal point for the Celtics for that 1 year. You've got draft picks in there. So it's almost like the Giannis move where Milwaukee doesn't have any assets and they're going to be terrible for a while unless they make a move. Boston needs to get under. They've come out and said they are looking to break up the core. Now, the core, is it Tatum Brown? Is it, keep Tatum Brown, but everybody else is on the trading block, or is it going to be a free agent? We really don't know. So when that was being reported, the first person to come to mind was Jaylen Brown. This is Rudy Campos Jr., Sweep the League. We're building the brand, sponsored by MCS General Contracting. Again, best in the business. MCS General Contracting. We are building the brand for the San Antonio Spurs, making known that Boston did make it known they want to break up the core of the Celtics. So we're thinking, okay, it's got to be either Brown or Tatum. I don't think they get rid of Tatum, obviously. I think Brown's that one guy. But of course, could be wrong. You know what, Joe? We are all throwing darts at a dartboard, man. It's never, ever a guarantee anywhere, man. Spurs will not trade away so much talent for one guy. Because as we are seeing in the playoffs, it is a strong bench that wins playoff games, not stars. Great point. Great point. And that's where I said that Jeremy may not be a part of it because the Celtics, they want to get under the cap so bad, so the Spurs may have to eat more coming in return, and the Celtics would get a little bit less. So essentially, it could be a Vassell and Barnes type of move with a couple of draft picks. I mean, could have a third team in there as well. So I do get it, but hell, man, the bench, dude, it's Denver just came out on top for Oklahoma City the other night, actually last night. And I mean, their bench is pretty damn terrible. Rudy, you don't think Tatum would fit? I think Tatum would fit with the Spurs, but the Celtics, hands down, do not get rid of Jason Tatum, like at all. There's no way the Celtics would get rid of Jason Tatum at all. So, the talk about Giannis going to the Rockets. I'm not Rockets fan or anything like that, but the Rockets would be making a massive mistake going after Giannis Antetokounmpo. This team needs a scorer. This team needs shooting. This team going after Giannis, it actually puts them a step back. I mean, you've seen Şengün, you've seen Giannis play. Pretty much same type of player. I mean, they both can't knock down the jumper consistently. Outside of that, Fred VanVleet's your only shooter, but even at that, I mean, he gets going from time to time. Jalen Green disappears left and right. I mean, Steven Adams is one of the key guys on this team, so he's a must keep right there. Jabari Smith Jr., again, very key player. I really like him. Cam Whitmore, definitely key player. Tariq Eason, love him there. So, but again, they don't have a scorer. So you're going to get an MVP player in Giannis Antetokounmpo. That doesn't make any sense for a Rockets team. Does it make sense for a Spurs team? I think so. You've got enough shooting, with the Spurs right now. You've got De'Aaron. Wemby can knock it down, not consistently, but he can knock it down. Stephon Castle is going to be improving in the offseason. So I pretty much guarantee that he's going to be doing fine. What else you got? Keldon can shoot the rock. I mean, Julian Champagny is going to be there as well. So you've got shooters to where Giannis could help out a whole lot. But I also think that you look at KD. KD makes more sense to Houston more than any other player out there. It's going to be Kevin Durant. So I think what we're going to see is I think KD goes to Houston in that kind of deal where they're going to probably end up sending Green. They're going to end up sending maybe Jabari Smith, maybe Whitmore. I mean, they're going to send a few guys over to Phoenix for Kevin Durant. Obviously, some draft picks as well. Spurs, on the other hand, they're going to look at Giannis. I hope they look at Brown. I mean, do Boston a favor and get them under the cap there. So definitely want to look at Jaylen Brown there. But again, it's off season, man. We're not quite there yet. We're going to see what happens here. We're going to take a quick commercial break. On the way back, NBA playoff talk and the Twitter world or the X world. What happened? We'll see if we can break it down here, man. Sweep the league. Rudy Campos Jr. We'll be back in just a minute we're going to get a minute commercial from our sponsors here, MCS General Contracting. Shout out to them. We'll be back in just a second. Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting, building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
You are watching Sweep the League TV. Make sure you subscribe and catch our new videos.
Sweep the League TV with Rudy Derrick and Coach Kia. Let's get back to the live show. You are watching the best in the business.
Are there 5 small forwards better than George Iceman Gervin? He had multiple seasons over 50% field goal percentage. Multiple. 4-time scoring champion. I don't think he gets the proper respect he deserves, but y'all let me know in the comments.
Yeah, shout out to, I want to say it's at B-Ball Elevation on TikTok. Give him a follow, man. This guy asks a lot of great questions, and the comments are great. Yeah, it's one of the better TikTok followers out there, that guys you can follow out there. Love seeing the videos out there. I respond to as many as I can, but yeah, man. I mean, can you name 5 better small forwards than George the Iceman Gervin? It's difficult. I mean, he was mentioned. I think we were talking. He was mentioning KD is up there, but Larry Bird is another one that you can probably put at small forward there. But it's kind of tough when you think about it. It's kind of tough to find 5 better small forwards than George Gervin. You guys think about it for a little bit. Drop them in the comments. Rudy Campos Jr. here for Sweep the League. Get in the comments here. Curry won't return to the game after he injured. Oh, left hamstring. Yeah, that might not be good. Definitely is not good for the Warriors. Wemby, Tatum, Fox, Castle, and Jeremy. Again, Tatum's not going to leave, man. If it's going to be one of the guys from Boston, it's going to be Brown. That's who I'm thinking. That Brown's going to be the one. If Johnson's the Bucks, I can see him going to the Lakers. So the thing with Giannis is, I see a Lakers move. I see the Lakers going more towards Brook Lopez more than anything. Maybe a Nas Reed is what I see them going for. They need a big man. They really need a big man. There also could be the possibilities of them dipping back into the Dallas well. Maybe looking at a Derek Lively, possibly looking maybe PJ Washington. So I think more than anything, they're going to look at that free agency part and see if they can maybe attract Brook Lopez to the Lakers. I think Giannis going to the Lakers, it has some legs to it, but it's tough, man. It's tough to determine. There's even talk about him going to Oklahoma City, which I don't see and I don't like for the Thunder. The Thunder, yeah, they got beat by Denver, and don't get me started on Denver, man. Denver's don't get me started on the Denver Nuggets. Jokic and Derek and I were talking about earlier. Jokic is on a whole different level. So you guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, you are watching a modern day Wilt Chamberlain type of player where numbers are just ridiculous. And it's crazy to think that I've had a couple of former NBA players, and I've talked to a couple of people, and they were all saying it's crazy to think that you would actually consider if Jokic wins another title. You know what? One guy even said if he makes it to another finals with this year with this Nuggets team, even if he wins, it doesn't win, that's fine. But if he makes it to a finals, then they would have to consider him way above all other big men. Talking even Timmy. As tough as that is, and you guys always grilled me for taking Prime Joker, which is still, I don't know what Prime Joker is, over Prime Timmy. I took it a while back. It's the toughest decision I've ever had to make. When Jeff asked me that, I got grilled for it. I got burned left and right for making that choice, but I mean, it's so damn close. Modern day, Nikola Jokic, enjoy it. That guy is he's definitely gonna be one of the greatest to play this game. Just if he continues on, man. So yeah, Giannis to the Lakers, I would see him probably being up there as one of their top choices, but I mean, you're going to have to give up on Austin Reeves for him. You know, I don't know if the Lakers have anything that the Bucks are going to really want in return. It's going to have to be maybe a 3-team type of deal. One thing I did see was Giannis or Zion going to Milwaukee and then Giannis going somewhere. I can't remember exactly where. It was like a 3-team deal with New Orleans and Milwaukee. So I think you're going to see a lot more trade ideas when it comes to Giannis, but the Lakers could be there. Shout out to Southern Fried Sports, man. JD Wyatt, great stuff. My guy, appreciate you joining us on, man. Appreciate you so very much joining us here on Sweep the League. Again, not on X, but I am on YouTube. So I'm not on X anymore. Well, we'll get into that in just a little bit. But for JD, you got to go to YouTube, search Southern Fried Sports, dude. He's always cooking up some great stuff out there. Great takes, great topics. I can't wait to have him on Sweep the League because it's going to be amazing to talk to JD and his enthusiasm, his excitement. I mean, it's contagious. It really is contagious. Keep doing great stuff, brother. You're doing an amazing job, Southern Fried Sports, man. MCS General Contracting, the best in the business. Chris Leha and the boys. The hat right here shows it all, man. Like I said, best in the business. You need something done, whether it be parking lot, laying down the foundation, similar to what the Spurs did when they traded for De'Aaron Fox. They laid down that foundation to make the Spurs just continue to get better. That's exactly what MCS General Contracting does, man. They make your dreams a reality. They're building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Contact them today, MCS General Contracting. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League Network and I Am Refocused Radio Network. Warriors is 46, Wolves 31 at halftime. Surprisingly, I thought the Wolves would give them a hell of a battle tonight, man. Surprisingly. So, NBA playoff talk, but before we get into NBA playoff talk, let's talk a little bit about X here. So, for those of y'all that are on X, I do see it because we're not getting a lot of the guys from X on here tonight. So again, the best way to check out Sweep the League is go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button so you know when we are on live. Whether I come back on X, I don't know. We'll see. But my departure on X has nothing to do health-wise. I know I've got some health stuff there, but nothing to do with that. When I constantly get, messages and this and that about our content here at Sweep the League being, used. And again, content is free, man. Content's free. You can, I necessarily don't care that you use content or you use subjects or anything like that. I don't really care. I don't care. But it's the glory you get behind it. If it's a really big thing and it goes great for you, I'm one to believe that you should always give credit where credit's due. A lot of people on X and Twitter or whatever, shit, even TikTok, people get still content left and right and they take credit for it. I don't buy that. I'm never a part of that. I'll always give credit to where credit's due. I learned from the best, Michael DeLeon, rest in peace. I learned from him at Project Spurs. I learned from one of my mentors in Jeff Garcia, Locked on Spurs. Both those guys always told me, you always give credit where credit is due. Never, ever, ever take content and present it as your own. So I never do. But, getting messages and, having fellow people say this is BS that we're doing this. And now other people are doing it and other people are, just jumping on because maybe they don't have content to talk about, whatever. I don't know what it is. But always give credit to where credit's due. So X has been a terrible place for me. Everywhere from just logging in and seeing stuff that I don't want to see. It's just been terrible. So I guess you can say I'm kind of taking a little break from X. Whether I come back or not, I have no idea. I don't have any intentions to. I've actually got other stuff that's coming up for Sweep the League that I don't really need to be a part of X for. This is bigger stuff. We're talking some national exposure stuff. So I think the less I am on social media, the less that I can get, certain eyes on me. And that's what I want more. I don't want those eyes on me. I want the national eyes on me. So that's the reason why I'm not on X. I just don't like playing a lot of the games anymore. I don't like, seeing all the BS that goes on anymore. I got a short life to live, man. I don't have a long life to live. I got a very short life to live. So I want to just live it without all the BS that I see. And I want to give you all the best content possible. So that's the reasoning behind X, the whole X thing right there. If I come back, I come back. If I don't, no biggie, not a big deal. Rudy, which two NBA teams would broadcast on NBC next season? So, I mean, I think all the NBA teams are going to be broadcast on NBC at least on some point. Are you asking which two teams I want to see broadcast on NBC next season, like as an opener? You got to let me know a little bit more detail in there, Tim. What you're talking about there. So, once you do, I'll show your comment here once we get into that. Let me bring up the playoffs here. So, anything out on the playoff talk, as you can see, Thunder Nuggets. We're gonna get into that. Timberwolves Warriors kicked off tonight. They tipped off tonight. As you mentioned, halftime, Warriors up 44-31 on the Timberwolves. 13-point lead. Steph Curry did go back into the locker room, according to Tim Gonzalez. Shout out to Tim Gonzalez for giving us the details there. What return to the game, hamstring injury, does that affect the Warriors in the second half? Remains to be seen. No, the Knicks and Celtics. I called game one Knicks. Jeff Garcia's got proof. It's on Locked On Spurs. So it's on that show right there. I called game one for the Knicks. I've got Celtics in 6, though. I originally picked OKC, New York Knicks, NBA Finals. Could it happen? It very well could happen. Celtics are a little banged up, but I still got Celtics in 6. I just think that New York is probably going to run out of gas at some time. If the Knicks win, it's a Knicks Finals, man. It's a Knicks Finals. They're going to go, in my opinion, they are destined to go all the way to the finals if they beat the Celtics. Pacers and Cavs. Cavaliers dealing with injuries, dude. Garland out game 1. Indiana shot the ball lights out in game 1. I mean, when I say lights out, it was amazing that the way that they shot that rock on game 1. Game 2 tonight, Cleveland had all the momentum. All the momentum. Indiana started taking it back little by little by little. Halliburton at the buzzer for the win. 2-0. I just think the entire team of the Cavs has been deflated. They were without Evan Mobley tonight. They were also out without DeAndre Hunter. Both of them went down to injury. Now you're down Garland as well. If you're that depleted on the Cleveland side, sheesh, it's going to be a quick series. We'll put it that way for Cleveland and Indiana with all those injuries. All I care about NBA on NBC is they must bring back the old theme song. That's all that matters. Hey, man. If I could play the theme song right now without getting copyrighted, well, I would definitely play that theme song. Who wrote that? Oh, God. The guy, I have his picture in my head. Guy from old Entertainment Tonight, John Tesh. John Tesh wrote that song. And I want to say it was called Round Ball Ruckus, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I think I said that one time. Everybody said, no, it's not. I said, yeah. I think it was the Round Ball Ruckus is what it calls. What 2 NBA teams do you think would be the first to broadcast on NBC? It says, I'm going to go on a limb and say Celtics Nuggets championship pedigree. That's a really good one. I think Celtics Nuggets would be a really good one to kick off NBA on NBC, Tim. I would agree with Joel. If there's another team in there, oh man, I would say, dang, dude, that's a good one. That's a really good one. You know what? We're probably going to see a Celtics Knicks kicking off NBA on NBC. Maybe like a double header. They'll do like an East Coast, which will be Knicks and Celtics to kick it off. After that, then you'll probably end up going, I have no idea. Maybe a Nuggets Lakers after that for game 2. So that would probably be the way I would kick it off. I would definitely kick it off definitely on that for NBA on NBC. The round ball theme. I'm talking about the finals this year. Celtics Nuggets. Okay, I go what you said. I thought you meant to kick off NBA on NBC. My bad. I'm sorry there. Celtics and Nuggets. would be an absolute masterpiece classic. I would probably take the Nuggets because again, I don't know how you stop Nikola Jokic. I mean, I really don't know how you stop him. The Thunder, I mean, he made Chet and Hardenstein look like YMCA basketball players. And he put up what 40 and 20 in that game. I let's talk about that. The Thunder is one, if not the best team defensively. Why in the hell are you fouling intentionally 80 feet from the basket? You're fouling who? I think it was Aaron Gordon. You're up 3. You play defense the way you've played defense the entire time, the entire season. Man up, defend. Worst that can happen is you go to overtime because they nail a 3-pointer. That's the worst that could happen. I mean, the absolute worst is you foul on the 3-point play and they make it and they go up by 1 if they make the free throw. But I mean, at worst, you're going to probably end up going to overtime if they nail a 3. Why are you fouling 80 feet from the basket? Like you're literally saying, okay, we don't trust our defense. So we're going to put a guy on the line, make 2, we'll get the ball back. Sanchez would happen. They get the ball into Chet. Chet misses 2 free throws. Game over. Gordon with the win at the buzzer. I don't know. I don't understand how any coaching staff will allow them to foul. Just play defense, man. Defense is one of the reasons why I got you there. I mean, you should have been able to defend that time. I do think the Thunder come back. I've got Thunder in 7. I do have Thunder in 7. I'll go to the other ones here, but I think this might have been giving Denver hope, man. That's something you don't want to do, especially with Nikola on the floor there. Going through the series, I've got Thunder in 7. I've had Timberwolves in 6. I actually had the Cavaliers in 6, but now it looks like it's going to be Pacers in 5 or 6. I mean, with all those injuries in Cleveland, I'm going to stick to I'm a man of my word. I will go Cleveland in 6, even though the Pacers are probably going to win. And I've got Celtics in 6. So only one series do I have going 7 games. That is the Thunder. That is the Nuggets. So I've got Thunder in 7. I've got Wolves in 6. I've got Cleveland in 6, which again, I took that before the show and before they lost tonight. And I've got Celtics in 6. So I'm going to go still with Thunder and Boston in the finals. So that was my midseason pick. I'm going to stick with that on the midseason pick. Either way, the East Finals appearance is going to be from the Knicks and the Celtics. That's where it's going to come from. West is kind of wide open. The West is wide open. No doubt about that, man. I would say it would be Lakers and Spurs on NBC. That would be a pretty good one for them, too. I already root for all the Boston teams, Rudy, so Celtics. You are a Boston guy, man. Shout out to the Patriots, dude. We talked about it last week again. A major draft by the Patriots. I'm still giddy that they had a really good draft. Dallas versus Lakers on NBC. Yeah, NBC is going to have a lot of great games, man. We're going to be giddy, not Josh Giddy. We're going to be giddy with the theme song being played from time to time, man. Man, time goes by when you guys are having fun, dude. Recapping stuff tonight. Pop stepping down, becoming the president. How long is he going to be president of basketball operations, depending on his health? Didn't really look good at the press conference, but we'll see how long he is there. Mitch Johnson, you got to give him a fair shot, guys. Give Mitch a fair shot. He's going to into his rookie season as a head coach. Give him an off season. See what happens with the Spurs. See if they can build a team to his standards. And keep in mind, 31-45 for the remainder of the year is what he did. It was 14 games under 500. For a rookie head coach, 31 wins is not too bad. And again, a lot of those losses, he knows and he knew that it was his fault. bad rotation, timeouts in the wrong at the wrong spot. He was learning, so I feel like he's going to lean on his coaching staff going into the next season. He's going to have a really good offseason. We, myself and Jeff Garcia, we're on Locked On Spurs tomorrow. So shout out to Jeff. We're going to be talking Mitch Johnson tomorrow. Be sure to listen to that because there's a lot of points on there that we both made. And maybe you guys will agree with what we said. But one thing is you got to give Mitch a fair shot. Be sure to give Mitch a fair shot. That's all you can ask for. Remember, the shortest coaching term in Spurs history, I believe, was Jerry Tarkanian. That was what, 20 games, if even that. So the Spurs allow their coaches to coach a year, a couple of years after that. So I mean, they don't really just recycle these coaches right away. They give them an opportunity. So give Mitch a fair shot out there. No doubt about that. It's actually, Locked On's in here now. Rudy, are the Cavs getting exposed as frauds? No. The Cavs are bitten by the injury bug. The first game, game one, Indiana shot the lights out. Shot the lights out. You tip your cap to them and say congratulations. Game two, Darius Garland out, Evan Mobley out, DeAndre Hunter out. 3 key pieces, 2 major pieces, and Mobley and Garland out. I mean, the Cavaliers had Indiana beat, but Indiana stayed true. They played their game. They came back. Halliburton at the buzzer for the win. No, the Cavs are not frauds. I will not buy the fact that they are frauds. They were a top team on both sides of the ball all season. They're just getting bit by the injury bug. It's bad timing. So they're not frauds at all. It's just one of those things, Jeff, where it's like, hey, the injuries, man. They're dealing with injuries right now, and it's probably going to cost them a playoff series here. So shout out to them, man. They got to get through this really, really quick. Irish versus Clemson for the next 12 years, Rudy. Yeesh. Clemson's going to be good next year. I kind of have them as one of my 2 national championship representatives in college football. So once college football comes around, we'll be talking more college football. But yeah, Clemson's going to be good next year. Wrong time of year to be dealing with injuries. Exactly, man. Horrible time of year to be dealing with injuries. Horrible, horrible, horrible time, man. Sucks for them. Rudy, did Denver expose OKC again? No, not so much, because the Thunder made a big blunder. I didn't mean to rhyme there. They made a big blunder there. The Oklahoma City Blunders, they fouled at the end of the game. Like I said, 80, 75, 70 feet away from the basket. They put Aaron Gordon at the line, made both of them. They got the ball back, and they figured we'll knock down our free throws. Didn't happen. Chet missed both. I think that was just a mental breakdown. One of the top teams in the NBA on the defensive side of the ball. They should have just played defense the entire time, and they didn't. They decided, you know what? Let's get the ball back, put the ball in our hand, and we'll win this game. We'll be up 1. Didn't really work out like that. I think they respond a lot better in game 2. I fully expect them to beat the Nuggets in game 2. But again, I'm taking the Thunder in 7 on this one. But even at that, if the Nuggets win, Nuggets are on the way to the finals. You do not give them opportunity after opportunity. I think they will represent the Western Conference if the Nuggets do end up beating the Thunder in this second round series. Let's see how OKC responds. They're still somewhat unproven. They are unproven. They are a very young team. But again, they've been one of the dominant teams all season long, along with Cleveland. But again, Cleveland deal with injuries. I think OKC is they just made a bad decision. Really bad decision. I don't expect them to ever make that happen again. Less filling or taste great. I'm going to go with taste great, man. I'm going to go with taste great on that one. I would definitely go with taste great. What do you guys think? Is less filling or taste great? Jeff's in here. Is the East Conference up for grabs now? It's either Knicks or Celtics. There's really the finals representative for the East is going to be either Knicks or Celtics. Derek Gervin loves Indiana. He loves Indiana, and I understand why. But I just think the Knicks and Celtics, they're the 2 best teams. barring, injury, obviously, but with Cleveland having those injuries, it's, I can't take them, in a series if they're going to be dealing with those kind of injuries. I can't take them in a series. So for me right now, it's either the Knicks or the Celtics are going to make it to the NBA Finals. It's going to come. Their representative is going to come down from one of those two teams. Joel Cologne says it tastes great. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We should be back tomorrow for more Sweep the League. Hopefully, Gio will be joining us tomorrow. But if not, you'll get me and my annoying voice the entire time. Again, no Twitter, no X. Be sure to go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, so that way you know when we do go live, as we are not on X right now. Gave the reason here a little while ago as to why we're not on X, but maybe we'll return back to the Twitter world. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I'll let you guys know. But for sure, we are on YouTube. We are broadcasting on Twitch as well. We will be doing some TikTok lives as well. So again, we've got more stuff coming for you guys other than the X world, Twitter world, whatever it is. But be sure to just stay in contact with us on YouTube. That's the best way to get at us and watch Sweep the League 24/7. Again, brought to you by MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of Sweep the League. So for Derek Irvin, for Coach Gio, for the entire staff here at Sweep the League, it's Rudy Campos Jr. Until we sweep the league again, we'll see you later, knuckleheads.